I already knew this was happening, and you could see it clearly going on. I genuinely and generally agree with Rand Paul that the United States needs to cut off all foreign aid and not have foreign entanglements that George Washington talked about, because obviously corporate interests are just going to come lobby the government to take care of their interests, not U.S. interest. Now, if Barbary pirates in the Mediterranean are robbing U.S. ships, Thomas Jefferson, as president, sent the Marines in to clean their clocks. So I do believe in that type of action to defend ourselves. But 90+% of what the U.S. does is totally unconstitutional, and it's done to actually undermine our interest by multinational globalists. I mean, just look what globalism's done to us. We pay for everything they do. We don't even get any of the spoils. So it's not just unconstitutional and immoral. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. But once you meddle in Egypt, I mean, I agree with Rand Paul. 5 years ago, cut the funds off. 3 years ago, cut it off. But since our government basically ordered the Egyptian military to remove Hosni Mubarak, and then you notice he disappeared. He had a stroke, or he was in jail. All that made up. He's now being released. He's just fine. The 31-year U.S.-backed dictator, back when there was a policy of having a stable area and some freedom over there. I'm not defending Mubarak, but as dictators go, he was a lot better by several orders of magnitude than the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda and the rest of those people. And then Google and the tax-free foundations with Obama, on record, they brag about this. I want to talk about this coming up. They went and they funded, on record, this Arab Spring, and Mubarak wouldn't go along with overthrowing Gaddafi, so they removed him. And now, basically, the old guard's back in charge. And the Council on Foreign Relations has figured out they can't double-cross them now. That's failed, so now they're jumping back over partially. But Obama, according to Newsweek and establishment hacks, because if it comes out in the Daily Beast, that's coming right out of the White House. That's come out. That, oh, hey, don't worry, to everybody being critical of Obama, who wants to see bedlam over in the Middle East, he's cut off aid to the military of Egypt. And undoubtedly, I would want to live under a military dictatorship. It's just that what they're putting in is an Islamist dictatorship that's running around burning down all the churches. And our government wants that to happen. It just shows no matter whoever the worst people are, the globalists are going to fund them. The worst of evils, they're going to fund them. The most effective evils, they're going to fund them. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we are live. And I am alive, red-blooded. I eat, drink, and sleep and fight for liberty against tyranny. I am your host, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, already the 20th day of August, 2013, as this planet orbits the sun. And as worldwide, the forces of world government expand and tighten their grip around the neck of free humanity, you are hearing an emergency global transmission of organic resistance against dehumanization and life force, pro-life, pro-liberty resistance to the culture of death. I am your host, Alex Jones. The news websites are Infowars.com, and the backup Quasi-Mirror has a lot of its own unique, important news. PrisonPlanet.com. And then, of course, you can follow us at Twitter at Real Alex Jones. We have several big Facebooks. They're all listed on Infowars.com. You can see the nightly news at PrisonPlanet.tv. All right, I want to open the phones up after I mention some of the headlines here in the first hour and then intersperse things with the news. Let me just give you the headlines here. We'll see if I can do it without stopping on one of them and going off on a jag. Egypt, massacre of police raises fears of growing jihad activity in Sinai. They've also taken nuns and others hostage and have burned down more than 20 more churches in the last 24 hours. It's now in the hundreds. The Daily Beast, which is a White House organ, so they're bragging through it. Senator Obama administration secretly has suspended military aid to Egypt. You don't need to know that they support them. They helped put them in power 2 years ago. They helped put Morsi in power. Google brags. They met with MI6, the CIA, 4 years ago to start this whole Arab Spring. It is absolutely insane to see all of this unfolding, and to see the public not understanding what's happening. And again, I'm not saying the military junta is a good group. The point is the globalists are trying to remove it so that they can bring the country into absolute civil war and start the destabilization even beyond what it is of the entire Middle East. So we're going to be getting in to that report today. We can show the TV viewers a document cam shot of that article. It's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Also, we're going to be getting into this stack of news. As you know, yesterday, this is all part of the new Pentagon PSYOP to make them think that they're telling the truth. They've come out this week and said, oh, Area 51 was a secret black site for testing secret aircraft, which is what we told you all along. No space aliens, none of that. Toxic waste is dumped there. And then secret skunk works, drone projects, black mana projects, space plane projects. It goes back to the U-2 project in the 40s. That's what goes on there. SR-71 Blackbirds in the 50s. That's what goes on there. So they're now admitting that. They're now admitting CIA confirming role in 1953 coup in Iran, but redacting most of it. We already know because MI6 declassified some of it. And Kermit Roosevelt, the grandson of President Roosevelt, actually of Teddy Roosevelt, that president, who ran the operation, CIA joint operation with MI6, admits how he did it. He wrote a best-selling book on it that was published in 1999. He did an NPR interview. We've aired it here, where they admit they staged terror attacks and blamed it on the government as type of a double-cross false flag. And then brought in the Muslim extremists to take over, then double-crossed them and brought in the Princeling Shah, then double-crossed him in 1979 and put in the Ayatollah Khomeini. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. Absolutely incredible what's going on that front. Absolutely insane what's going on that front. So we're going to be breaking that down today in more detail. And the policies they carry out against other countries are the policies the globalists are carrying out against our country, but in a more incremental form that they can get away with in the whole divide and conquer program. And they just do it over and over again. It's a system. It's a methodology. It's a program. It is a mindset. So we're going to be going over all of those reports as well. And, of course, it's coming out. Everybody's like, why aren't you covering Princess Diana and the reports killed by paramilitary police? Because this is another distraction. Of course, the military shoots their mouths off about killing her. That is who killed her. We even know who killed her. It all came out weeks after that they turned the cameras off, ran into the wall. She was alive, struggling, drug in by the special forces into the ambulance that took 45 minutes to go to the hospital 5 minutes away, and they killed her. And there was videotapes and diaries and her butler and her friends, and I've even met her cook. When I was in the home of a Hollywood star. And the point is this is all well known. Prince Charles said in a letter, I'm going to kill you in a fake car wreck if you don't stop dating that Arab. And they capped her. I mean, they staged the Gulf of Tonkin. They staged the Iranian coup. It's all come out just like we told you. They killed Princess Diana. It all came out. People always say, well, this stuff was going on, it would come out. It does all come out. So, see, I'm kind of mentioning the news here, but halfway getting to it. RT reports TEPCO, that's a Tokyo electric power company, admits a leakage of 300 tons of water with monstrous radiation levels in it. That's up on Infowars.com. That's just the latest admission. Also, we're going to get into some of the border news that I have here today. ABC News reporting what could happen if border asylum claims keep rising. Yeah, they've doubled a month ago, and now they've doubled again. So what do they call that, quadruple? Because anybody that can get across the border, it's over 30 million right now, instantly becomes a citizen or on the path to citizenship, and then you can even be a felon, you're allowed to stay. And then that ties into a report here, illegals snared as immigration debate continues. They arrested a couple hundred in one of those show arrest deals they always do right when they're trying to pass the end of America and the North American Union. I mean, that's what immigration reform is integration by stealth, according to the SPP documents, banned for Canada, September 2007. Judicial Watch got those documents. Obama administration makes secret deal with Mexico to help illegal immigrants in the workplace. Michael Snyder, American Dream Blog, has that. It's up on Infowars.com. And it's actually in an EEOC press release that Obama made the secret deal to legalize the illegals. Well, yeah, we already knew that, but now it's just more confirmation. An incredible video we're going to air a clip of. Mark Dice again goes out and asks Obama supporters to sign a petition to put carcinogens in the water supply. Yeah, I want my, and of course they all agree if it's for Obama, I want my reporters to go out and do the same thing and say, we want to put cancer viruses in the vaccines to reduce population so that, you know, Obamacare doesn't go bankrupt. For Obamacare, we want to put cancer viruses in the vaccines with carcinogens and then say it's for trendiness. If you say it's for trendy and talk in a voice, an NPR voice, they have to sign it. We've gone out and said, and of course this then got replicated by a bunch of different reporters. I'm glad they did it. Pro-life group, and I think Dice did it as well. We all imitate each other. We're all in the same fight here. You know, whatever works, let's do it to illustrate things. Hey, we're going to kill babies up to age 3 now for the earth for Obama. Oh, yes. We're going to kill old people now for the earth and for Obama. Oh, good. I don't want to live. You know. We need to show how they've just embraced total enslavement. Because I've never seen a group more... You've got to go to the trendy areas of Austin, the trendy areas of L.A., or the trendy areas of Dallas, the trendy areas of Miami, or trendy areas of New York, and you can walk right up and say, let's arrest all gun owners and put them in, you know, in fact, I want to send my reporters out and do the report I wanted to do, where we go out and say, please sign a petition to confiscate all firearms in Austin, Texas, just to illustrate they're ready to go. It's like that Republica song, I'm hot, I'm ready to go, on the rooftop, shout it out. I want to send out Jakari Jackson, Leanne McAdoo, Gigi Arnetta, everybody. I want to send out David Knight. I want to send out John Bound, who's always busy behind the scenes. I want him to go out and do some reports. He does a great job. I want to go out and just show the madness. The madness of if you say, for Obama, I think you could say, you know, for the earth and everything, we want to throw dogs and wood chippers for Obama. I don't think they would go along with that because it's a doggy. Because, see, people are all dehumanized now. They don't care if humans are dying. But if you show Marines throwing a dog off a cliff, people freaked out and said, Alex, that's fake. They had Michelle Malkin come out and say I was a liar. It was fake, even though they reprimanded them later after the video and admitted they did it, that they were drunk when they did it. You know, the whole point is that they did do that. Everybody, it was international news. Oh, it's so horrible. But if they throw a kid off a cliff, it's like, ah, show what, it's a Haji, kill him anyways, you know, using the kind of racist slur. But then it's also, with the Fort Hood shooter, you're not allowed to call him a jihadist because they've classified, the real reason is not political correctness. The CIA, over 200 emails and phone calls with Anwar al-Awlaki, known CIA, telling him to do it. But since our government basically ordered the Egyptian military to remove Hosni Mubarak, and then you notice he disappeared. He had a stroke, or he was in jail. All that made up, he's now being released. He's just fine. The 31-year U.S.-backed dictator, back when there was a policy of having a stable area and some freedom over there. I'm not defending Mubarak, but as dictators go, he was a lot better have foreign entanglements that George Washington talked about, because obviously corporate interests are just going to come lobby the government to take care of their interests, not U.S. interest. Now, if Barbary pirates in the Mediterranean are robbing U.S. ships, Thomas Jefferson, as president, sent the Marines in to clean their clocks. So I do believe in that type of action to defend ourselves. But 90+% of what the U.S. does is totally unconstitutional, and it's done to actually undermine our interest by multinational globalists. I mean, just look what globalism's done to us. We pay for everything they do. We don't even get any of the spoils. So it's not just unconstitutional and immoral. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. But once you meddle in Egypt, I mean, I agree with Rand Paul. 5 years ago, cut the funds off. 3 years ago, cut it off. But I already knew this was happening, and you could see it clearly going on. I genuinely and generally agree with Rand Paul that the United States needs to cut off all foreign aid and not by several orders of magnitude in the Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda and the rest of those people. And then Google and the tax-free foundations with Obama, on record, they brag about this. I want to talk about this coming up. They went and they funded, on record, this Arab Spring, and Mubarak wouldn't go along with overthrowing